Hallelujah.
Did it go?
Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hey, everybody.
So good to see all of these beautiful faces.
Mwah, mwah.
We are in love, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So when the lover gazes into the eyes of the beloved and says, who is that rising like the morning star? He is seeing that infinite possibility in her eyes, and love brings him to the place of wonder, really, like the place of ultimate wow, that sense that this finite world is opening us up to this infinite world, and sometimes I when I come to this line in the Song of Songs, who is that rising like the morning star, clear as the moon, bright as the sun, daunting as the stars in the sky, I think, oh, this is an instruction to rise into this wide perspective, to have a remembrance, to connect to this deep place, this deep point of light inside me, to the whole wide universe. Dr. Carl Sagan once said, "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. But it means we have to be awake for the cosmos to know itself through us. And so this is what kind of breaks open the relationship, is like looking at our beloved, which is reality itself, and knowing that this is a mystery. This is fathomless. And so when I chant these words, I want to ask this question. Well, how big? I mean, you might ask me.
How big?
I thought you would never ask, honey. And so here's some little things that I wrote down about how big the observable universe is. 93 billion light years in diameter. The moon is 238,000 miles away, and you could fit 1 million Earths inside our sun, which is 93 million miles away. And the nearest star is 25 trillion miles away, and you could fit 4,450 of our solar systems between us and the nearest star. 100 billion stars in this little Milky Way we have. 100 billion stars. In our entire solar system, if our entire solar system were the size of a quarter, our Milky Way galaxy would be the size of North America. Okay. Orbit of our sun around the galaxy at about 500,000 miles per hour. It still takes 225 million years to make one revolution. Our entire galaxy spans 100,000 light years from end to end. Laniakea supercluster, which is home to our galaxy, along with 100,000 other galaxies. And that is just a tiny speck of the observable universe, home to at least 2 trillion galaxies, which contain more stars than there are grains of sand on the Earth. And every atom in your body was once in a star. So today, ordinary matter, which includes atoms, stars, galaxies, and life, accounts for only 4.9% of the contents of the universe. Dark matter is estimated to constitute 26.8% of the total mass, energy, and 84.5% of the total matter in the universe. So
that's a great mystery. It's a mystery.
That's the mystery that I want to be daunted by, and it's the same mystery that I get from looking into your eyes. It's that same mystery. It's the vast. It's like when we look at the vastness out here, we want to be able to open up the vastness within us, and that's, and in a sense that's the practice. And I remember as a child trying to like fathom infinity, and instead of making it, whenever I saw how big, it never made me feel small. It always made me feel like whatever I could imagine, I was that. I was touching that. I was part of that. So that's, so as we chant these words to the beloved, imagine that we are chanting it to reality itself and saying, who is that rising? And we are rising into the widest perspective, because we want to connect this point of light at the center of our hearts with that wide perspective. That's the practice that we offer here. And it's a love song.
Oh, yes.
Mizot hanishkafah kamo shachar kamo shachar. Who is that rising like the morning star? Who is that rising like the morning star? Yafah chal'vanah, bara, clear as the moon, bright as the sun, daunting as the stars in the sky. Mizot hanishkafah kamo shachar kamo shachar. Who is that rising like the morning star? Who is that rising like the morning star? Yafah chal'vanah, bara, clear as the moon, bright as the sun, daunting as the stars in the sky. Mizot hanishkafah kamo shachar kamo shachar. Who is that rising like the morning star? Who is that rising like the morning star? Yafah chal'vanah, bara, clear as the moon, bright as the sun, daunting as the stars in the sky. Mizot hanishkafah kamo shachar kamo shachar. Who is that rising like the morning star? Who is that rising like the morning star? Yafah chal'vanah, bara, clear as the moon, bright as the sun, daunting as the stars in the sky. Mizot hanishkafah kamo shachar kamo shachar. Who is that rising like the morning star? Who is that rising like the morning star? Yafah chal'vanah, bara, clear as the moon, bright as the sun, daunting as the stars in the sky. Mizot hanishkafah kamo shachar kamo shachar. Who is that rising like the morning star? Who is that rising like the morning star?
זאת hanishkafah, כמו shachar, כמו shachar. Who is that rising like the morning star? Who is that rising like the morning star? Yafah, chal'vanah, bara, kachama, clear as the moon, bright as the sun, daunting as the stars in the sky.
So find the point of light in the deepest place inside your heart. And feel like that is the portal. That is the portal that we enter through to that place of the infinite, to the place of that 100 billion galaxies. And when we are awake to that vastness, then the cosmos can know itself through us. And I guess the way that the cosmos knows itself through us is through our awakening, through our sense of expansion into that vastness. So, a number of years ago, I had this 3-part revelation instruction to me that has stayed with me. That the instruction was, the first part was expand the context, like that whatever I am experiencing in life, if I will be overwhelmed by it unless I know how to expand the context of it. So it means I'm feeling everything, but that feeling that I'm feeling is in the context of a vast reality. And the bigger that reality is, the less chance that I will be overwhelmed by whatever it is in this moment that is giving itself to me. So that is the first instruction is always like whatever it is, whatever the difficulty is, whatever the feeling is, whatever it is, like hold it in the widest possible context. Open that up. And that contextualizing in this wide open way is going to transform the way that we relate to what's in front of us. So that was the first part. The first part is expand the context. The second part is grow in compassion. That we're here in this world to grow in compassion, and as we experience life and suffering and kind of like the challenges, that those challenges are there to bring us to the place where we can keep growing in compassion. That's why we're here. And the third part of the revelation just said, and do what needs to be done. Like there's something right in front of you to do. You can do that. It's not just everything that you think about. It's like that sense of what is needed right now that is within my sphere of doing. I want to do it. So it feels like this KZOOM is really about expanding the context of knowing our world in this larger way. And when we do that, I think we are kind of gifted with possibilities. So there's a Psalm, Psalm 19. And this was my father's favorite psalm.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And it has these words that says that the heavens, HaShamayim, which is kind of how the ancients understood this wide open space. HaShamayim, misaprim, kvod el. Misaprim is that they are telling a story, kvod el, of the glory of God, and we want to be able to listen to that story, be inspired by it every day, and we can only do that because sometimes we get this little tunnel vision of what needs to be done right this moment in my to-do list, and we forget to look up and out and open up that view. So I think on the path of love, we are instructed to listen to the story of the heavens, and be inspired in our love by that vastness, that whatever we can see out here is actually a picture of what's inside us, of what's in there.
And it's raining right now, which is, and for us in the summer, it's essential.
Great blessing.
It's a great blessing.
Is it raining there, Judy? Is it raining in Albuquerque? No.
Oh, no. Sorry.
There's thunder and.
Oh, it's over field. Yeah, it's very nice. So, appropriate time to chant this.
Yes. So there's 3 parts to the chant, and we only had to have 2 mouths here, but you have many other mouths to mouth. And and if you're in a place where you can look at the sky, that might even inspire you. So one part goes HaShamayim, So I want to ask you is if you're chanting that part, to feel like every time you say that word HaShamayim, you are opening up a larger space. So you can close your eyes and just imagine that space opening up into wider and wider into the 93 billion light years in diameter of the observable universe. And maybe reaching out to the nearest star, 25 trillion miles away, with your consciousness as you're opening it up, right? So that part really is opening up the field. And then there's another part that says, misaprim, kvod el, misaprim, kvod el, misaprim, kvod el, misaprim, kvod el. So I think when you're chanting that, you're stepping into a kind of a willingness to open to the bigger story here. We're in this. I think sometimes my own suffering is really about being caught in my little story, and there is a much bigger story that is wanting to be told, right? And so when we sing that, we're acknowledging that we're part of this larger story there, right? And then there's another part in English that I'll sing, just about what's happening in the sky there. But so, and there's this way that when you're chanting, and everybody needs to chant this, and you can do that simple part that just says HaShamayim, HaShamayim. So see if you can smile a little bit while you're chanting, because it kind of opens things up here. So we'll start with that. HaShamayim, 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 misaprim, misaprim,
HaShamayim,
Keep your eyes closed. Bring your attention to the inner skies. Just as you breathe into that wide open space, just knowing that whatever this world holds for you, it's in the context of this wide, vast reality that you have access to through that point in the center of your heart. So there was I did a retreat once at home, and I had my meditation teacher was Sylvia Borstein, and she agreed that I would do a meditation retreat at home and call her each day, and she would give me a practice to do. And I sat in front of this window here that looked out on a big wide sky.
Pretty nice.
And
Misty.
and at the time the sky was completely clear and blue. And she said, she gave me an assignment, and she said, look into the blue sky, drop your focus, and allow your awareness to go kind of big and wide into the blue sky. And she taught me a practice that really came out of the Dzogchen tradition, a certain Tibetan Buddhist tradition of sky gazing. And in that sky gazing, there was a kind of an open awareness, and this was after maybe the third day of my retreat. And so what I noticed was that usually my practice has been just kind of let go of thoughts one by one as they arise, just keep letting go of thoughts, returning to my intention to be with God. But what happened when I opened to the wide sky was that I experienced that the thoughts that arose just dissolved themselves in that vastness. I didn't have to do anything. It was such a relief. It was because it was done for me by the vastness itself dissolved the content of my thoughts. And it was just such a moment in my life that feeling so liberated from this kind of relentlessness of the mind, you know. And what it taught me was that if I could connect myself to that vastness, I didn't have to wrestle anymore with my thoughts. I could just allow the power of that vastness to dissolve or to liberate me from my mind.
No self, no problem.
Right.
Lost yourself.
And it was just like, you know, I mean, it didn't last, but it was like a compass point for me of like knowing that was possible, and also sending me to this sense of like, oh, that's the reward of connecting with that that wide open cosmos that is actually in me, that is, that sense of like, I am that bigness. And the sense of my small separateness could dissolve into it. Yeah. So I would just want to offer that possibility. And there's a chant that I love to do that I call accessing the highest, and it the way that I translate it is I say, I will sing praise. And so praise is a way of raising consciousness, raising the vibration. I will sing praise so that I might know the highest essence of divine existence. So this is a kind of, like, I think of it as a raising vibration chant, so that I can let go of all the sticky thoughts and just go into that wide open space. So I call this accessing the highest. And I remember that, we had this practice in our community called PI, Prayer Intention Experiment, where if you needed a particular medicine, you could ask for it, and everybody would chant this for you. And there was a moment in my life that felt very sad and constricting to me, and I asked for this chant as my medicine. Do you remember?
Yeah, I forgot it was this chant.
Yeah, there was this chant, and so all of my beloveds were chanting this chant for me while I was chanting it, and it really kind of lifted me out of my grief, really, that was a stuck place in me, and opened me to possibilities. That's what. So we can put on the altar if anybody is feeling any kind of constriction in them or any kind of despair. We can lay that on the altar of the chant and bring this medicine to it.
Shaym-Havaya, Elyon, Shaym-Havaya, Elyon, Shaym-Havaya, Elyon, Shaym-Havaya, Elyon, Shaym-Havaya, 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 Elyon, Shaym-Havaya, Elyon, Shaym-Havaya, 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 Elyon. Bazamra Shaym-Havaya Elyon 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 Bazamra Shaym-Havaya Elyon
Keep your eyes closed. Bring your attention to the breath. Breathe into that point at the center of your heart. And let that point at the center of your heart open up to a sense of the vastness of the cosmos within you. Connecting yourself to that wide open space, which is the context for our lives. Good.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
So I want to do one more practice of rising into the wide perspective. And I call it entering into the larger goodness. And it is the words from our liturgy that says, Ma tovu, ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael, which is taken from the Parshat Balak as the blessing that Bilam says. And it's a blessing of transformation, a blessing that says, how good is this tent, which is transforming into a mishkan, a dwelling place for the divine dwelling. And how good is this Yaakov, this place of unrefinedness, this raw place inside me. And how good is this transformation into Yisrael, the one who encounters the divine directly. So we are in the midst of this kind of this wrestle, this journey, this transformation. And then the liturgy says, Va'ani, and I, berov chastecha, with this great, I translate it as by your grace. Avo beitecha, I will enter your house. So your house is the code word for God consciousness. That is the larger goodness that holds the good and the bad. Like here we are in this world of good and bad, light and dark, duality. But there is this larger goodness that holds it. And and God consciousness is what connects me to the larger goodness that holds the good and the bad, that holds the duality, that unity consciousness that holds it all. Then when I dive back into the journey of transformation, some part of me keeps the awareness of that wider perspective, that beitecha, the God house, the God consciousness, and there's a kind of, divine neutrality that just accepts it all. And the ticket is with this great love. Through this great love, I'm going to enter into this wide perspective, into the larger goodness. So let's take that journey from duality into unity. Or it's not even a journey because they both exist at once, but it's sort of establishing that wide perspective that's going to hold us through our transformations and hold the world through its transformations. So we begin with those words, Ma tavu, how good it is. Ma
tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. Va'ani berov chastecha avo beitecha. Va'ani berov chastecha avo beitecha. משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. אני ברוב הבטחה אבוא ביתך. אני ברוב הבטחה אבוא ביתך. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. ואני ברוב הבטחה אבוא ביתך. אני
again, opening up that wide space. The observable universe, 93 billion light years in diameter. The moon is 238,000 miles away. You could fit 1 million Earths inside our sun, which is 93 million miles away. And the nearest star is 23 trillion miles away. You could fit 4,450 of our solar systems between us and the nearest star. 100 billion stars in the Milky Way. If our entire solar system was the size of a quarter, our Milky Way galaxy would be the size of North America.
That's big.
And the orbit of our sun around the galaxy, it's going at about 500,000 miles per hour. And it's still, that's pretty fast, and it still takes 225 million years to make one revolution. Our entire galaxy spans 100,000 light years from end to end. Laniakea supercluster, which is the home to our galaxy, along with 100,000 other galaxies. And that is just a tiny speck of the observable universe, home to at least 2 trillion galaxies, which contain more stars than our grains of sand on the Earth. So let's have our minds be blown. The mind that is blown is the mind that, has access to that cosmic consciousness. So we have to blow our minds, let our minds be blown on a regular basis, so that we can step into the place of wonder and not just be swept away by the news. We want to live in the bigger universe, and as well as in this place of duality. So that's our KZOOM. That's our KZOOM today.
Yes.
Hope that you've had your mind
Wonderful.
blown.
Yeah.
And
You need to go. We love you.
wait a minute, but we just want to say, come to the website, see what's happening, step into some of the practices that you might want to. Hey. And there's a retreat in September that it was a KZ retreat that I'm opening up to KZOOMers and soul lifters. That is an Elul retreat, the time for us to do that process of returning to our essence. So check that out. And soon I'll be opening up the registration for the Soul Lift retreat in January, for the Love at the Center retreat. So, I mean, it's wonderful chanting with you on this KZOOM, but it's even wonderfuler when we get to be in person.
Yeah.
Right? So to think about that. So yeah. So everybody, it's so good to be